What's going on, everybody? Doug will be joining us here in a few minutes, but it's Cody here. It's Dan. It's C-Rad. It's The Hype. Episode 312 today on the show. The NFL has reached the mid-season point. Who are the rookies that we are most hyped about? Who are the ones we're disappointed in? And who are we looking towards collecting? Maybe the big MVPs, favorites for the rest of the year. We're going to talk about that. We got big new releases. One of the most surprising big new releases, Bronny James in the McDonald's All-American Topps Chrome set. We're going to talk about that. Plus, World Series. Are you even watching? Did you watch it? Maybe it's over by the time you're listening to this as Dan and C-Rad join in. Are you guys watching the World Series? It's the least watched World Series of all time.
I watched two games. I did not watch. Was there a game last night?
There was a game last night.
I did not watch that game.
Yeah, I was watching it on a plane. So,
but yeah. I watched Game 1, and I have a story about Game 1. I also watched Game 2. I was in Arlington. So we went out for dinner, and then we were actually going to go to the game if tickets got cheap enough, right? Stayed out at dinner a little bit later, so we basically were like, we're going to go to Texas Live, which is a area full of like restaurants and bars in between AT&T Stadium and whatever Globe Life Field, whatever.
They called it that. I think even when the old ballpark at the end.
It kind of looks like a giant Costco.
Yeah. Okay. So it really is in person. It still has the look of a big warehouse store.
Yeah, it's like Home Depot, Costco, but beautiful inside. Probably. I don't know. I'm not talking bad about it, but. We got there at the 8th inning, got out of the Uber, was walking to Texas Live. We're going to watch the rest of the game, and the Rangers were down by 2 in the 8th. I don't think I've ever seen so many people leave a baseball game. We were walking across the street. We were walking through hundreds of people just in the crosswalk that were just like, game's over, we're bouncing. And me and the people I was with were like, you're going to regret leaving a World Series game only down by 2 runs in the 8th inning.
That's weird. That's crazy.
So we got into the bar. Pretty much instantly, they hit a home run to tie the game. The 9th inning.
Corey Seager.
With 2 outs. Two outs. It kind of, I mean, they cut it close there. Then we were able to witness a walk-off. But a lot of Ranger fans giving up.
Yeah. I'm always amazed people leave. If you have tickets to a finals game, the World Series, why would you leave early? You've spent so much money.
I had the same conversation with everybody. I was like, what is the threshold for you being like, I need to go? Like, if your team is down by 12 in like the 9th inning, I still am like, I paid for the experience to be here at the World Series.
Yes.
What do I got to go do right now that is so important that I have to leave? But apparently there was a lot of Ranger fans that they had some more important things to go do that Friday night.
Last night's game, as you're listening to this 2 nights ago, 10-0 Rangers in the 3rd inning. And I turned it off because I'm like, well, all right, 10-0, this game's over. Ended up being 11-7, by the way. So Diamondbacks made a game of it. And I went back when I saw like a 3-run home run in the 8th inning. That place was still packed, which is what it should be. Maybe Diamondbacks fans are like more.
They're like, well,
I don't know.
I mean, Arizona, that stadium is known. I mean, if you're down by 4, you're down by 6, you're down by 8, like you're not out of the game.
No.
But I also do believe the Rangers stadium is pretty solid for the offense.
That one now is, I think, the first couple of years, it's been shown to be more of a pitcher's park.
Okay.
It's really big.
Okay, so maybe that was what it was. They're like, 2 runs might as well be 12.
Yeah.
Or out.
Ridiculous. Seems a little ridiculous.
But, yeah, that was pretty insane. And I was like, you're going to regret. Like, I'm like, you guys are going to regret leaving.
Yeah.
Try to go back in.
I don't know why anyone also, if you guys remember the Miami Heat, when Ray Allen hit the 3-pointer to win it, right? Like, that's the most infamous one. People literally banging the door to get back in. Why would anyone leave after watching that? Why would anyone ever leave a finals championship game after that? Makes no sense to me.
Yep. It just going with that theme. I was watching NFL football this past Sunday, and the Jets-Giants game, very similar thing. Whereas you guys get a kick of this. I don't know if you guys watched this one, but it was 4 or 5 minutes left. The Jets got the ball back. They're down 3 points, right? And then they have no timeouts left. I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes. And then they were not able to have a successful drive. I think they ended up going for it on 4th and turned the ball back over to the Giants. And then I see Jets fans leaving. I'm like, it's only a 3-point game. There's still like 3-4 minutes left. I'm like the camera actually shows them like walking up the stairs. Like, okay, well that was our last chance to score. Like as if the Giants were just gonna run out the clock for the rest of the time.
It's ridiculous.
And then the Jets ended up miraculous comeback at the end, and they ended up tying it, going in overtime, and then they won by 3.
Keeping their very slim
it's the same theme. It's like you're already there, like, and I get it. Like some people do want to beat traffic. They don't want to be waiting through like thousands of people as compared to hundreds of people. But at the same time, it's like it's not that type of situation. Like you can see a path for like your team coming back a little bit, even though it might be slim chances, right? Where like you guys were talking about baseball, if you were saying even if it was like 12 run lead, like you still would
I
stay.
went to on Sunday. It was halftime. It was 33-3.
That might be a game.
We didn't leave, but I didn't really see a pathway of us getting back in that game.
No. And maybe not a nice pathway back to your car, too. A lot of fans maybe going, oh,
No. Dallas fans, full class.
Really? All right.
Full class,
Fair
right?
enough.
We had one person in the stadium.
And there's a lot of fans in there.
One person in the stadium chirp at us a little bit about Matt Stafford when we were like, there might have been like 6 minutes left. We were all kind of meeting up like in the little concourse area. And the usher was like, Matt Stafford has never done anything. That guy sucks.
The usher?
The usher.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we walk by. I'm like, what did that guy say? And I'm like,
he's won a Super Bowl.
And he's looking at us, just like staring. He's like waiting for us to like say something to him. And I'm all, the usher? The usher? And I'm like, and then I'm maybe like 15 feet away from him. I'm all, what? I can't. I'm like, what'd you say? And he's all, we got 5 Super Bowls. A Niner fan. Bang, bang.
The usher was a Niner fan?
Was a Niner fan.
Oh,
of course.
my
The
God.
one person who is going to talk to us is a Niner fan who works for the Cowboys as an usher. Bang, bang.
Listen, I had no doubt in my mind that Cowboy fans were going to be more respectful than Niner fans. I had no doubt in my mind about that.
Oh, we had some great people like around us. Like we were sitting there talking, no animosity.
Yeah.
Cowboys fans. Actually, I will say this generally, and I've never been to a city like that where we all had our Ram stuff on everywhere we went, and people who worked at different restaurants or bars or even the hotel were really quick to be like, I don't like the Cowboys. Like I'm not even a Cowboys fan.
Self-hating Cowboy fan.
I don't even like the Cowboys. I hope you guys win. And I'm like, more so than people going like, oh, good luck with the game. No, it was like, I don't like the Cowboys.
Wow.
So I'm like,
okay.
America's team is always going to be America's team, but apparently they're not Dallas's team.
That is very interesting. Who knows? Maybe you got a bunch of bitter, self-hating Cowboys fans, but that is an interesting observation.
No, they're just.
I mean, it's tough for them to be cocky and have swagger as a fan base. They've had some tough situations.
It's been 30 years now. Frankly, the Niners have some Super Bowls and some NFC championships in between, but really, you look at the pathway of both of these two franchises, 5 Super Bowl wins in their heyday, but it's been 30 years
and
since
actually,
the peak for both.
I would say
there's a lot of
they
similarities.
run very parallel with each other, the two
They
franchises,
do.
like it or not.
They do.
They go in to every year with like, this is the year. Like the team's good. Like we were good last year. We made the playoffs. We came up a little short, and they just can't get it done.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
So I mean,
The difference is that the Cowboys fan base is way cooler.
it's
than
the
Okay.
Dallas 49ers
Okay.
and the San Francisco Cowboys.
all right.
Yeah. America's fan base is way nicer than Niners fan base. Niners fan base is just
I will.
I need Doug here to.
Crazy.
Where
Agree
is
with
he? Is he
that,
coming
like,
through that door
crazy.
to help
I mean, you
defend
can't-
this?
you can't-
crazy violent
You
individuals.
can't do any you can't do anything at Levi Stadium without
your hands.
You can't even think
You can't
about
even
it.
watch. You can't even think about
You can't
washing
think-
your hands.
No, you can't.
No, clap.
your
Oh,
hands.
clapping. I'm like,
Dan
washing
can't
your
cheer
hands. What
for
are you
his
talking
team
about?
without
Yeah.
a Niner fan like trying to beat him up.
Sit down. Shut up.
Look,
Come on, dude. Like, let's be respectful.
this is why I
here,
watch
dude.
from home.
You stand up again. You stand up again. I'm gonna sit you down.
Yeah,
These are
come
all
on,
things.
dude.
These are all things that
Yeah.
that go down.
that
Niner
you
fans.
guys have experienced directly.
This is how you know Niner fans are bad. They. Oh, I almost got.
almost.
They will fight each other. That's how
No,
bad these Niner fans are.
100%. I fully look. I was in Cincinnati over the weekend. I was wearing my Niner hat with a whole sea of people wearing their Bengals stuff. Shout out Cincy, you guys.
Oh, I didn't even know you went to
Deck out.
Cincy for that game.
No,
dude.
okay, so I'm there for a completely different reason. I was
Oh, I
there
thought
for
you
a
were for the
wedding.
Oh, I was like,
And
did
then-
you? You went to the game?
No. I was there for a wedding. The
Wait,
game
but
was
no,
here.
it was here.
The game was
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
of course, when I knew I was going to this wedding, I see on the schedule Niners Bengals, not realizing it was
People
here.
in Cincinnati were like,
They were so
why are you
confused.
here?
Yes.
Like, why you do realize
Some
that
looks of
You
confusion.
do realize this is a home game for you guys.
Some looks of confusion at the restaurant. We were watching the game. The guy went, "You gotta be. What are you doing, buddy?
Can you imagine?
Get out of here."
Can you imagine if you were taking a trip and you just never looked at the schedule? You looked at it and you're just like, you're like
Ready to go.
You're all, that is a road game. That's a road game, and you just like never look at the schedule again. You book your flight, you book everything,
Yeah.
and you get there and you're like, wait, this
Wait,
is a home game?
home?
That was
Yeah. So anyway, I got a few people who were like giving me the reputation about Niner fans, and all I could say was,
Bang bang.
yeah, no, yeah, you're right. That happens. We fight each other. That's what we do.
That's why Jamar Chase did a whole backflip on y'all.
You should have played it up there. You should have just been like, man, like
Yeah, I'll fight you right now.
No, I really thought this game was in Cincinnati. I really thought, like, I can't believe
I really
did
should
That would have been hilarious.
I really should have, but
That would have been
alas.
hilarious.
Real quick, let's head back to talk about the World Series.
No, I did
real
not watch
quick.
a single game.
No, so you did
How about
not
a
watch
pitch?
a single game. Did you
One
watch a
single
single
pitch?
pitch? Did you watch first pitch? Did
You know what?
watch
I watched it when we had it out here in the lobby.
Okay.
I did watch the first pitch. I know who threw it out.
The very first one was was W.
They brought out W.
They brought out W.
And he bounced it.
He bounced it for home plate.
I actually thought that he was, I mean, if anybody is going
I
to.
mean, he had the most perfect first pitch in history.
Yeah.
And he bounced it. But, hey,
Yeah, I
it's
was.
seven-year-old
We
game.
had it on here when the first base was stole by Ketel Marte,
Ketel
right?
Marte. That's right.
But no, I was joking. Obviously, before in the last round, like obviously everybody wanted the Phillies to make it, right? Everybody wanted the Phillies to make it to the World Series. So like just realizing that it wasn't gonna be Phillies and Astros, probably I was saying it to everybody. I was like, dude, this World Series is gonna be Rangers, Diamondbacks. It's gonna be it's gonna be the greatest World Series of all time.
Game 2 and Game 3, the lowest television ratings in the history of a World Series.
Yeah. Look, and I, it is what it is. I'm watching regardless
Because you're a true baseball
Because I
fan.
love baseball.
We're not getting the kids involved here.
Game 1 was great. I think a big part of it is they missed in the classic baseball because it's not like there aren't stars here. Like, you see some of the prices here. Obviously, it's reflected in some of these prices. The fact that Corey Seager on yesterday, a gold 2012 Bowman Chrome BGS 9.5 sold for $1,825. His first Bowman.
but
He's
look at-
on the verge. He might be as
Look at the year of that card.
I
Cody.
know.
It might as well be.
might as well be 1972.
1900 at 1904.
I get it. But this man, we were talking about it. Actually, TJ brought it up. He said, do you know that Corey Seager, if he wins the MVP tonight, if the Rangers win, he's probably the MVP. He'd be just the 4th player in baseball history to win 2 World Series MVPs. Reggie Jackson, Bob Gibson, and Sandy Koufax are the others. Those are, You could argue that's like a Mount Rushmore of baseball right there.
Are we gonna have a Corey Seager Hall of Fame?
I don't know,
topic?
but I'm just saying the fact that card goes for that compared to other guys. The Kel Marte, I showed it there, $227 for a BGS 10 first Bowman.
Yeah, but I mean,
Again, he's
it's
not huge.
2014.
I get it.
Might as well be
The Stone Age.
yeah, Stone Age.
It's
Like,
just
But it just goes.
might as well be a chrome tobacco card.
It just speaks to this baseball does not market its stars as well as as other sports. Doesn't market to younger audiences as well because again, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Corbin Carroll, really.
But
these are guys that are easy to Corbin
Marte,
especially.
like, can you? I mean,
I know. 20 game entry.
he's pictured as a Mariner there. I don't think I would have been able to guess that he was a Mariner, but I think he's been on a handful of teams.
He's been around, but
I don't think-
Diamondbacks is where he has played, I'd say, all but one major league
And then
season.
Corey Seager, I mean,
Yeah, Dodgers.
forever a Dodger.
I'll tell you what, if the Dodgers was in the World Series,
Yeah, it would be different.
I bet you this card would go for more than $1,800.
Absolutely.
For me, it's just like as a casual baseball watcher, like for me, like the teams, it was just like there's nothing like that gets you excited when you hear that the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks are in the World Series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's from a casual standpoint.
I'm trying to think of like a less sexier matchup.
There's not
Like,
many.
Marlins versus.
I mean, but Marlins, you have Miami.
Yeah,
right?
you do have Miami,
And
yeah.
you have like you have
Yeah.
the city of Miami. You could just sell the city of Miami.
yeah,
That's true. That
all
is
the sports
true.
reporters would have loved being there. in Miami.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa would have been
Ooh,
tough.
Tampa versus.
Tampa versus like Milwaukee.
Oh boy, you might as well just
Like
you might as well just start
but
from
like
scratch.
I mean
You're
Tampa,
right.
Milwaukee, and then right below that like Diamondbacks, Rangers.
But it's crazy because like in the NBA, let's say the NBA equivalent of that is like
we had it.
Right.
It was the
Milwaukee and Phoenix.
I'm not even talking about that one. That one is okay. Back in the early 2000s when we had the Pistons versus the Spurs. Now that
But
I don't think anybody tuned into.
But at least that you had Tim Duncan, you had like generational superstars there.
But if you don't have the
You had
equivalent
a
like
former
superstars
champion.
on the other
I
side,
don't know.
like,
I don't know
Right.
how many casual baseball fans that are Giants fans. I can actually go up to them and be like, "Can you name me 2 Diamondbacks and 2 Rangers?"
Right.
just casual fans, right?
Casual.
Yeah,
fans.
none. They wouldn't be able
Can
to
you name
you
me
in.
a
They would've said Randy
Diamondback?
Johnson.
Can you name me a Diamondback? Can you name me a Ranger?
Yeah, and look, I know there
Randy
is
Johnson.
There's a lot to be made about the marketing. I should also say the fact it is kind of a damper on what I think overall has actually been a pretty successful season for baseball when it comes to changing people's perception of the game.
Yeah,
I think it's
100%.
faster paced. It's more entertaining.
100%.
It's just weird that it ends on kind of a weird note. Part of that could be the playoff format. Part of that is just luck of the draw.
This is the teams that made it.
Yeah, so
And it's 3-1 right now, right?
yeah, and it's 3-1. By the time you're listening to this, the Rangers may be the world champions. And again, there's good star power there, but yeah, I mean, the only thing maybe they could have done is market Corbin Carroll a little more. But again, this just happened. He just became this star,
young player.
superstar quality guy.
But even the Rangers, watching the game, even the announcers, when they talk about the Rangers, it's a lot of Bruce Bochy talk.
It's so much Bochy talk.
It's a lot like
Not
Bruce
that I'm mad-
Bochy.
not that I'm
Bruce
mad about
Bochy is like the star power for the Rangers.
Yeah. Could you make an argument? He is the most notable star in this World Series.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
It's pretty wild.
He is. Old Boch.
Which is a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how baseball can fix it. Obviously, if it was something like the Braves and, who would be the American League? I guess, I don't know. If it was Braves and Rangers, heck. If it was just replace the Braves with the Diamondbacks, I think things would be markedly
I think it'd be helpful if it was like Yankees.
Yes, of course.
Yankees help.
yeah. Playoff form? Are we believers the playoff format?
Yankees, Dodgers, I think will
Yeah.
get people watching.
Yankees, any LA team, even if it was the Yankees, yeah.
Are we believers that the playoff format
Or
is
the Angels.
something to blame? I know there's a lot of people blaming like The fact that the number
more
1 and
teams,
2
it was-
more teams, and because the number 1 and 2 seeds got the week off, so they were a lot of people were saying, "Oh, they're rusty." 3 out of the 4 top seeds were
So you're
out.
telling me you play 162
okay,
games.
see,
You
that's
play
why I
like
brought it up.
literally all year,
And then you take a week off.
and you take a week off, and you're like, forgot how to play.
This is why I bring it
I
up.
mean,
there are former players out there who are
Literally
saying
go
it's a real
April
thing.
To October, playing almost every day.
Almost.
And you take a week off, and you're like, forgot how to do it.
It's not football. It's not basketball. It's a game of timing. It's a daily grind.
I can guarantee that week off, you can ask the players that are on those teams, and they're like, I'll take the week off.
That's the thing.
You
is
know,
I think a lot of players.
the one thing that goes, I've noticed, like, it does travel across all sports. It's like that team that's hot at the very end.
Yeah.
Going in, and they could be like an underdog. They could be like an 8th seed or a low seed. It doesn't matter. Like, if they're hot, like they usually carry that into the playoffs.
You see that
across football, basketball, and baseball.
You see that, I think, out of all the sports, hockey,
Baseball, too, I think the
hockey,
two
an
most
8
this year.
seed can get in, and they can just run the table. Goalie gets hot,
Yeah.
and they're unbeatable.
I
Yes.
think.
I
So
think
there's something
I
to
think
be said about
baseball
that.
runs second.
Yeah.
Baseball, you have a couple pitchers that are really, really hot. They can carry you through every single series. Basketball, I don't think 1 seed beating 8
Rare.
seed beating a 1 seed, maybe in a game, but not generally in.
That's
a
what
series.
made
I know it's
Miami's
happened
run.
before, but
Yeah. It's what made Miami's run so crazy, and I think part of
football could happen.
But the play-in kind of changes everything. I think if Miami wasn't in the play-in, I don't think they make that run. I think the fact that they had those like win now, like win or go home games
momentum
early
is a
on.
big thing
It's
across
big.
all sports. So there is something to be said about that. And you're right. Like baseball and particularly with the hobby, we're going back to the hobby. With Fanatics, they did a lot of good stuff with their baseball products this year. Baseball with the rule change. I mentioned this earlier this year in our podcast, or maybe just on stream. Like, I've never remembered a year for baseball where there were so many games with like 15, 20 runs in a game. I just really don't remember any time in the history of watching baseball where there were so many games that had so many runs.
and they weren't 5 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Generally, when
yeah.
there's a team scoring 15 runs, you
That's a long
you
game.
better not have anything to do because you're sitting there for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
I thought overall the baseball season was good.
Yeah.
Had a lot of great storylines, a really good crop of rookies.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one downfall is the matchup in the World Series.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, as far as like popularity for the sport, I think that, and again, we know it's not scripted or rigged because the MLB wouldn't have had these two teams represent.
Wow.
no.
They need to get the old scripts off the NFL playbook. Come on, man.
I don't think they would have minded Texas, but they would have rather have had a big market team, a lot of stars on the other side. And hey, you know what? You can make the argument that the first couple times the Astros were in there wasn't as highly rated. It took more times the familiarity. You grow to know these guys.
True.
That changes things too. So if the Rangers are in it for the next 3 years in a row, maybe that third one.
I mean, I will.
More guys, more
If
people are
it
gonna
was the Phillies, Rangers,
it would have been a way bigger one.
it would have been. We wouldn't have been talking about how it was the lowest rated on TV
Might be doing the opposite.
because it would have been close to the opposite.
Yeah.
At least with Philly fans.
Yeah, I feel like you almost need at least one team on either side to have like that huge superstar to carry the world, so like a Bryce Harper type level superstar. So
Yeah, he would have been the.
unfortunately, neither team has that type of superstar.
But to your point, if either one of these teams go on a run for the next 5 years, people will be familiar with the players and more people will tune in because they have played more, they've accomplished more, and it's all about being familiar with these players. Right now, I think we're seeing it. The general baseball fan is not familiar with a lot of the players on either team. So they're just not tuning in. Plus, I mean, besides, Game 1 was good.
Game 1 was great.
Game 2 was pretty much a blowout.
Yeah.
Game 3 started off a blowout, like you said, got a little closer.
Or Game 4
Game
was
4.
a blowout. Game 3 was only one pivotal inning, and then the rest just kind of coasted.
Okay.
It was one inning with two big plays that kind of defined the game.
I saw game 1 and game 2. I did not see game 3.
So the drama's been missing too. You know what? You know what will help
except
this?
for game 1.
You know what will help this?
Let's go to game 7.
Yes,
Let's
exactly.
do that. Yeah.
Like they need to run. The Diamondbacks need to turn this around and make it a series.
Yeah. Don't think it'll be happening. I think by the time everyone's listening, Bruce Bochy will have his 4th World Series ring. So,
Bochy, the greatest World Series manager ever.
There's gonna be
people did count out the Diamondbacks against the Phillies too. So
they did. They did. You're right. 3-1 would be a hell of a deficit. So we'll see. We'll talk about it again next week. New releases in the hobby. Speaking of some baseball, Bowman Sterling dropping on Friday. By the way, we're looking at it. That triple logo, or triple auto, I should say, of Gunnar, Henderson, Adley
pretty
Rutschman,
amazing.
Jackson Holiday, all in one card. Pretty cool. That's going to be an amazing chase. If you're watching, ignore the NT college football. That has been pushed. And we've got some SP Authentic and SP Hockey, 22-23.
I was talking about NT basketball.
NT basketball?
When we were talking off air.
Oh, is that what we were talking about?
I thought we were talking about, that's NT.
That's NT college football.
That's collegiate.
That's collegiate football.
That was supposed to come out Friday.
I got pushed.
That also got pushed.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
Look, if it's named NT, chances are it got pushed.
Yeah.
But surprise, surprise, maybe the most talked about of all of these so far in the hobby is Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American.
Delicious.
For one guy and one guy only. Bronny James is in this thing. Let's take a look at some early bids. These are not final. These were just about a couple hours before we started recording, so by the time you're listening to this, these are going to be even higher potentially. Just the Lava Refractor, 17 bids at $152. The Logo Man, we're calling it, the McDonald's logo refractor at $74 after 9 bids, and his auto, the Chrome Refractor auto, sticker auto, 34 bids at $1,275.
How many different photos they have of him in this set?
So many photos of him. And did you see the super refractor that was pulled is a different photo?
Is there anybody on the checklist besides Bronny?
I don't know. I'll be completely honest. It's Bronny. I mean, they know it. They're marketing it as a Bronny. I know that the number one.
So you're getting a Bronny every box, I would hope, right? If there's like
a base,
a million photo variations of it.
Yeah, that does tell me they absolutely know what people are getting into this thing for. They're getting in for Bronny.
Now, there's going to be – is there a base? Do we know?
So the base is that one of him taking the jump shot, if you're watching it.
Okay.
That one, that Lava Refractor we had featured.
Okay, that's a base card.
Yeah, that's the base
so
photo.
That would be the one I think you would want, right?
I think the one everyone wants is the on-card, the paper on-card. Is it paper? I didn't even see it. It looked like it was. Everyone was showing it to me. Yeah. So there's paper. All the on-card autos are paper, and that seems to be the one everybody
kind of like a next day auto.
Chrome sticker auto.
Yeah, the Chrome sticker auto. His Chrome autos are all sticker autos. I don't think there's any on-cards. So, yeah, it does. I mean, it's exciting. I think it's cool to be chasing something different
there
here.
Must be
obviously,
a lot of Bronny James autos because I was on Twitter just flipping around and I saw a lot of content with people pulling Bronny James autos.
That is a thing that does, at least secondary market wise. Like one, if you're buying this and you're looking for Bronny, I mean, I think fantastic deal. If you're going to get some Bronny, at least one, if not two Bronnies per box, that's great. That's what you want. That's the value you want. But if you're looking secondary market, it might get a little crazy with this stuff. And then as we get 2 weeks of ripping this and you realize just how much Bronny might be in this thing.
Sounds like Cody's saying if you want to put a Bronny James McDonald's All-American card in your PC, you may want to wait a week or two.
Just wait a week or two.
Just don't be the first one out there like, I need to get it now.
No. Yeah, there's going to be a lot.
Just
there's
wait
going
a little bit.
A lot of them.
McDonald's logo fractor.
McDonald's logo fractor is an interesting thing.
They
kind of look like little French fries too. Like the M cut half off.
No, they're golden arches,
yeah,
right?
It's the arches. It's the arches, the iconic arches. Will we get? I mean,
do you get Big Macs for life?
I wish. McDonald's fractor, burger fractor is what we were calling it back in the office. We were calling it burger fractors.
I'm kind of joking.
I'm not.
But why don't we just do this across the board?
I mean, obviously, Fanatics is setting up for the future here. With both, it feels like with both Taco Bell and McDonald's. So we're gonna have some
Where you at, Jack in the Box? Where you at?
Jack in the Box.
I don't think Jack in the Box got. I don't think Jack in the Box got that. They don't got that Fanatic money.
They don't have that
Jack in the Box. I mean, what would you get? I mean, apparently you'd have to get tacos for life.
Tacos.
I think
they're tacos.
They're tacos.
Yeah.
Nah, the
Toaster
Jumbo Jacks for life, dude.
No, dude, tacos.
Jumbo Jacks for
It
life.
doesn't have the appeal. I don't know.
Well,
I do like that.
those tacos don't have much of appeal. This is a topic that we're probably gonna strongly disagree on.
No,
You know
I
how-
love them, but they have.
No, they're
they
terrible.
They're terrible, but I love them.
I mean, they are like. There is nothing about that's a taco.
No, just what makes them great.
They put American cheese, like a slice of American cheese in there.
It's awesome.
And they deep fry it.
A little pocket of meat.
Oh,
in there.
no, it's not though. It's tofu. It's tofu
Again,
based.
it's their take on the taco. All right, so let them live.
I think Upper Deck will be able to go after the Jack in the Box market here. That's who Jack in the Box could go with.
I mean, I would not be mad at like free McDonald's fries for life. I think that might be how do you top Taco Bell for life? McDonald's fries for life is very, very appealing.
I mean,
McDonald's Big Mac for life.
Do you just ball out and you just get the Cattell Marte taco fractor
And the Bronny Burger Fractor.
And you get the Bronny Burger Fractor. And then you are just you're living large with just tacos and french fries for life.
By the way, did you happen to see I can't remember the exact number, but Bronny and Shedeur Sanders, the number 1 and 2 players when it comes to NIL money right now.
Wow.
I want to say it was something like upwards of like $5 million. Something insane.
Not Caleb Williams.
Not Caleb Williams. I'll look it up exactly,
Caleb Williams with that Subway money?
Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, that's right. He's on the Subway one.
Yeah, in Subway, based on they get who else? They have Steph Curry.
They have every athlete now. They have every.
I think they have
single
Tom Brady.
Yeah, number 1 is Bronny James. Number 1 NIL earner in the NCAA right now.
Why
is 6.1 million?
Why even go to the NBA?
And the thing is with him,
just hang out.
I'm gonna have
college.
I'm gonna make an argument right now.
All 6 years.
See if you can get 6.
This may be the best Bronny James card to get, just simply because the fact he may not ever play in the NBA. There's a decent shot.
I don't think he's gonna do it for the money. No, he's not going to go to the NBA because I got to get paid.
Because he's not as highly regarded as his other classmates.
A lot of kids, like, depending on where they come from, they're going to the NBA because they're trying to make money. LeBron doesn't, or like Bronny James does not have that motivation behind him.
No, and I understand that's an incredibly high take.
All the NBA kids, they have a shot even if they don't necessarily deserve one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your Scottie Pippen Juniors and your Glenn Rice Juniors and Tim Hardaway Juniors.
Right.
And some of these
guys are Steph Curry.
Some of these guys are obviously very, very good. But
yes.
I'm saying like I'm just saying for an example, like maybe they're not as highly touted as their class, but like they're gonna get in regardless because of their name.
Well, Jordan's kid didn't go to the NBA.
No, did not.
But I think if like Jordan really pushed it, he could have got him in the NBA.
Are we saying that LeBron James is pushing?
I think he's promoting his son way better than Jordan ever promoted his sons. Yeah.
I mean, I can't really speak on it, to be honest.
I think it's going to be – it's tough. It's tough because, like, all the players that you named, they were good to great players, but none of them were the caliber of LeBron James. Like,
other than Jordan.
How does Bronny, even if he does get to the NBA, have any type of a career when no matter what he does, he is going to be compared to his dad, who you can make an argument is the – greatest modern day basketball player of our time.
And I know, that's the thing is he's likely to get, you're right, probably going to get drafted, probably in the first round by somebody, just based off the marketing alone and the chance to get LeBron alone. I know we've been talking about that for a while, but there are plenty.
It's the BOGO deal.
Yeah, exactly. Buy one, get LeBron.
Buy one, get LeBron. That's got a good ring.
Draft
to it.
Bronny,
Should
get
probably
LeBron.
trademark that phrase right now.
It's the bro Joe deal. Bronny, LeBron,
get LeBron.
James. Anyway, but they're also like, I don't know why this is the guy who popped in my head. Do you guys remember Ken Griffey Jr.'s son was like a really highly touted wide receiver prospect? Like was expected to be was one like the top recruit for college football. Was expected to be a first round pick. Never made it to the NFL.
I don't remember Ken Griffey's
Oh,
son.
I do.
Yeah,
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I should double check it, but I do recall that. So it's not like it's outside of that realm of possibility that this just doesn't happen.
But yeah,
I get it.
The sport
The marketing is
the
different.
sport crossover there though, but
Way different.
Because if Griffey's kid was playing baseball and he was
million times.
he was like really good in high school and good, we've seen it in baseball already. Like
saw with
look
him,
how
yeah.
many former major leaguers' kids are getting drafted in the first round.
Right.
And it's hard to say if they did not have that name, would they be as highly touted as they are?
Yeah.
So hard to say. I don't know. I am definitely surprised with that money though he's making from that NIL deal. $6 million. That's.
And I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm like, where?
Yeah.
What else is it? Is that just?
I got to imagine.
Is that Topps Fanatics money?
I got to imagine this is a pretty solid deal for him. I mean, considering how much he's in this product, just from what we've seen the first few hours of this ripping.
Yeah, and I mean NIL. Just that includes like anybody that's just trying to use their likeness, right? Even just sell their jerseys, they make money off the jerseys now and stuff. So
there's been, and that you got to imagine because he's at USC. This is his freshman year, just started at USC. Got to imagine that's a super hot jersey. Wearing the same number as his dad, or I guess his dad's old number. Yeah, there is a ton of money to
But if I'm
be
not
made here.
mistaken, LeBron had just extended with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's probably an opt out if he wants to opt out.
He basically goes year by year at this point.
I think Bronny ends up on the Lakers. I think LeBron stays in LA, and I think Bronny somehow ends up with the Lakers. It really depends on, I guess, what his college season. He is a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know how much he's going to play.
Yeah,
if any.
Yeah, I've been hearing it's 2 years for him. It could be next year, but regardless, even the most, the highest ranking of him is like top 10. So. Get your money now, Bronny. Who knows? It might end. It might.
Love it.
This might be the peak right now of Bronny mania. So we'll see what he can do. And of course, Topps McDonald's All-American. We're ripping it on Mojobreak.com. We're ripping it on Fanatics Live. We're ripping it all over the place. Doing some fun stuff. Doing some fun breaks with that McDonald's All-American. So chase some Bronny because again, you look at the prices. It's wild right now with this stuff and the Wemby stuff with Prizm draft picks. At least that though, like you see what he's done in the NBA, and you're kind of already starting to see it. By the way, what do you think? Week 1 of Wemby. Did you see the Shaq quote last night?
No, what did Shaq say?
That he said, "I've seen this man before. His name's Bull Bull."
Oh,
like damn, dude. Dan, I feel like you kind of said something. Sort of half joking, sort of half not on last week's episode. Comparing to the Bull Bull.
But I think we all said what we thought his debut was going to be, and
it was solid.
And I believe I was the closest.
You were closest.
I think
you were
20. I think 20-10 is what I said, and I think that's what he. I think he did like
15-7. I want to say was something like that with a block.
And he got in foul trouble.
That's going to be the thing.
He spent a lot of time on the bench. That I don't even think we thought about, but him learning how to play defense in the NBA, he is going to get a lot of fouls. He is going to be on the bench a lot in foul trouble.
Yeah.
At least for his first year. So I still think he's probably going to be the guy who wins Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Because he's Wemby.
Yeah. He's still gonna. He should still be considered the favorite.
He ain't gonna be putting up. He's not gonna be averaging 30 points at the end of the year.
Yeah.
30-10 by the end of the year.
There's no way.
And you know what's crazy? I was just reading about this in-tournament thing. The team that is the most featured of this tournament, the NBA, are the Spurs. They had the most televised games, I guess, during this whole little in-season tournament. So Victor Wembanyama's going to get a lot of shine.
Because the NBA is like, let's promote them.
Yeah.
Wemby, not going to have any playoff games to promote.
Talk about a league who knows how to market their stars. We're saying with baseball, look at that. They immediately were like, oh, you got Wemby? He's going to be the most featured guy on national TV.
Yep, right out the gate.
Smart. Very, very smart.
What do we think about James Harden?
Oh, that's right. He's a
To the Clippers?
I don't know, man. It's the same thing. Same, different trade, same story. I'm just
there?
done with it, man. I'm tired.
James Harden.
PJ Tucker also went there, too.
Russell
right?
Westbrook.
Paul George.
Back together.
Kawhi.
Paul George.
Kawhi
Leonard.
I get it.
Who else they got on that team? I mean, that's like a 2014 All-Star team.
Yeah. It's impressive.
It's a legit ball club.
They should be a top 4 team in the West. They should be. But that's the story with the Clippers every year.
But didn't James Harden and Russell Westbrook already play together?
And Paul George.
And Paul George.
And Paul George. We tried this before.
How did it work
now
out?
We have Kawhi in the mix.
But they got the fun guy Kawhi, though.
But Kawhi's going to be out for like 40 games because this is what happens. The Clippers are going to get hurt. They're going to get – it's just not going to work. They're not going to be able to get all of them on the floor at the same time.
I don't know if many people realize this, but they're all 4 of those guys are from Southern California.
Yeah, they're all LA guys.
Pretty much playing home.
James Harden's from Southern California?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I knew Paul George, Kawhi.
Now, Kawhi is
Russell.
more Riverside,
They're
San
all
Diego,
from the Southern
but
California area.
All right, so
They all get to play at home.
they just got to get Clay now.
if they can keep that team intact next year, I mean, because they got that brand new arena opening.
All those guys a year older.
1 year older next year.
You think that's the key to them?
No, I'm just saying that's an easy way to get people get butts in the seats in that brand new arena.
That's what Steve Ballmer's hoping for, dude.
This was the goal, but again, we'll be back here this time next year. Be like, wow, James Harden traded to the I don't know, pick your team at this point. Or spin a wheel. The Indiana Pacers are getting James Harden. It's the only team that's willing
James
to
Harden
accept
would be
next
good.
year.
He actually could go down in the best Pacer ever to do it.
Dude, I'm sure James Harden next year will probably ask for a trade to come to the Warriors or something.
100% he's asking for another trade. He will not rest till he's traded to all 30 NBA franchises.
You know what? James Harden's agent, hardest working agent in the business.
Let that man let them sleep.
It is.
Let him rest.
He's on call.
He's just like he probably was like, "Oh, James is texting me.
It just
where are we going
what a
now?"
shame, because there was a moment where this guy was legitimately a top 5 player in the NBA, maybe top 3, and just I think
He was,
nobody cares anymore. We're exhausted by him.
But he has ever since. I mean, he has asked for a trade everywhere he's played.
Every single place he's gone.
I actually went back. I was like, did he ask for a trade in OKC, or they just traded?
Yeah, was that free?
They just traded him.
They just traded him.
Yeah.
They traded him, and then after that, he was like, "Wait, you can do trades?" He's like, "I'm gonna ask for a trade every year."
Yeah. It's a little exaggerating. I was thinking in my head right now. I'm like, okay, so he has to trade from Houston to Brooklyn, then Brooklyn to Philly, now Philly to LA. So it's not.
He did
crazy.
play. He did play didn't he play 10 years for Houston though?
He played a long time. Yeah, he played a long time.
But he played what? A year in Brooklyn?
Not even.
Not
even a half year.
And then he played maybe a year in Philly, right?
He played a year in Philly. Yep.
Played about a year in Philly.
So
we'll see. Good luck to the Clippers. Have fun with that. Have so much fun with that.
I don't know if the Clippers are a playoff team.
I mean, they should be. Again, they should be a top 4 seed with that talent.
I don't know if they ever get on the court at the same time. That's the issue.
And amazing.
I don't know if all 4 of those guys are ever out there together.
And for bring it back to a card perspective, amazing that they have that much talent on the floor. Which of those guys is any of those guys that relevant?
We saw it. We saw it with Harden in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Kawhi only.
Kawhi.
But they couldn't get on the court at the same time.
No, and it'll happen again. This will all repeat. We've been here before. We know how this ends. don't kid yourself. Don't fool yourself, Clippers fans. We've all seen this movie.
You said
before.
don't fool yourself, Clipper fans. Like there's like 5 of them.
As if they don't. Yeah, exactly. One, as if there's that many, and two, as if they're like, yeah, no, I'm a Clippers fan. Yeah, I've been fooling myself my whole life.
Clippers fans are just like
they're
part-time Clippers fans from being Laker fans.
No, Clippers fans are just
show up and they're like, I thought the Lakers were playing.
Yeah,
tonight."
Clippers fans are just Laker fans on an off day. That's what Clippers fans
It's
are.
like, they're just it's Laker fans finding something to do on a day that the Lakers aren't playing.
That's why it'll be really interesting when they have their own place to play. Like, okay, time to test that fandom.
Actually, I'm curious. I don't know if I've ever met.
I went to school with a Clippers
I've never
fan.
actually met.
You
a
went to
Clippers.
school with a Clipper fan.
Yeah, I went to college with a Clippers fan.
Never met a Clipper fan.
He was from L.A., and he was a huge Dodgers fan.
Who was his favorite player? Chris Kaman?
Yeah. I don't remember who was favorite. I think probably like Elton Brand, probably at the time. It was probably his favorite. Clipper legend.
Wow.
Elton Brand.
Just trying to think. I mean,
Corey Maggette, Clipper legend.
Corey Maggette. Maybe all the Anaheim Duck fans.
Maybe those
are the Clipper fans.
It was also CP3 Blake Griffin era
The
when they
Lob
actually
City era.
were a really entertaining team. DeAndre Jordan, all that. So
They actually had a championship winning team.
They get that.
Caliber
They
team.
get that new stadium next year.
next year, it looks amazing. It's
Where?
It's right next to SoFi. It's
Okay.
where the Forum is, basically. It's right next to the
They're
Forum.
not tearing the Forum down now.
I don't know. They're not tearing it down yet. I don't know what the plans are once it's there, because at that point the Forum would be kind of redundant. Be sad. Be very, very sad if that ever.
Dude, now
becomes-
we got to share a parking lot with the Clippers.
Yeah. Yep. Have fun with that.
I mean, that's not a big deal. No one's gonna show up anyway.
Hey, you're gonna look at that place. And go. Yeah, maybe
that'll
I'll watch
be
a Warriors game
where
there.
our tailgate gets moved to.
There you go. Exactly. Speaking of football, let's shift gears. Let's talk football for the end of the show, rest of the show. First look at Prizm Football. If you're watching this, you see the first look. Some of the first cards mock-ups came out a couple weeks ago. Now we have a more full look at some of the designs. I know I mentioned right off the bat, why does the CJ Stroud not have a rookie logo, and Bijan Robinson does? I've been assured, no, don't worry, it's just a mock-up.
It's a mock-up. I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying it like it's never happened. We were talking about it off air. The SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, his rookie card doesn't have a rookie card logo on it. But I'm pretty confident CJ Stroud will have a rookie card logo.
Yeah.
Now, what are these logos and this foil on the CJ Stroud that I'm looking at? Is that
Yeah, I don't know. There
So-
are some. Oh, it's the Panini logo.
Okay, so back in 2014, they did Panini tried something where they called
dude,
it called it the SP.
Yeah.
It didn't actually stand for short print, but they called it the SP Prizm, and they had like little logos in the background like that. Now I'm not sure if they're going for the same vibe as that, but it seems like that's what it is. And they called it the SP Prizm back in 2014, but it wasn't actually short printed. You pulled them quite often, actually.
I like the design.
I like the border design, yeah.
White Knight, by the way, is what that design is called. That CJ Stroud we're showing right now. So you've got, let's see,
The White Knight, okay.
navy camo, forest camo, gold vinyl, white knight, black finite, snake skins, and then your traditional silver, hyper, orange, blue wave, purple ice, all that stuff. So white knight really
So just a new
the first-
parallel this year.
One new parallel white knight seems to be the new addition. So
It's a good looking design.
yeah, I like it. It's interesting. It's different. I think had to add a little something extra if you're not going to have the rookie autos. So I'd imagine the white knight, Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis.
This is off the preview, right?
This is off the preview. And we have also highlighted the dual color blast
and
as well.
I get it. Like, it is a mock-up. But because there are no Stroud rookie autos, the oversight to not include the rookie card logo on the mock-up
Yeah.
is not great.
Which, again, I'm still holding out a slight chance that maybe it isn't there. But why? Again, it'd be weird to call attention to it like that. Be very strange.
Yeah, I don't...
Because we have the instant access, the one that they did, the only Panini autos.
And all their other
and it
Panini,
has the rookie
all
logo.
their other Panini cards this year have been base cards had rookie
Right,
logos on them. So
right.
Yeah, it's not a great oversight. And yeah, there's probably people who are already 100% convinced that this is absolutely going to happen, and CJ Stroud's rookie cards are not going to have the rookie card logo on it.
Yeah.
Don't think that's going to be the case.
No. I don't
But
think so.
yeah, if I'm throwing up some previews of the card designs, I think the only thing I'm gonna make sure I do include on the CJ Stroud is the rookie card logo.
Yeah, at the very least. Just
That's actually where I start.
don't open yourself up
Put
to
the
all
rookie
the
card
speculation.
logo there, and then just like kind of build the card around it.
Right. Right.
That makes
Exactly.
sense.
The dual color blast.
Yes.
The one we're seeing, it's got the Bengals, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase on it.
Yes.
I think it looks great.
Yep.
It'll be interesting. Is this also maybe an avenue for them to do things like two-team color
Don't
blast?
do it.
I know.
Don't
I'm sorry
do
to
it.
even bring it up. And I've
That
spoken into existence.
don't even speak that into existence.
If it's too late.
No, that is a negative.
A Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud
Don't
dual color blast.
Don't, but because it won't work for multiple reasons. Because like, say C.J. Stroud ends up becoming Patrick Mahomes, but Bryce Young is out of the league.
Baker Mayfield, maybe. I don't know. That wouldn't be that bad if it was Baker Mayfield.
But nobody's going to want to collect that card.
No.
Because one guy is collectible and the other one is not.
Yeah.
Don't do that. The only way it does make sense, though, is for team collectors like that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase that we're looking at. If they have a Rams one of that, Puka, like
Stafford.
Stafford, Cup,
Puka
Puka.
Cup
Same
would
team.
be cool.
Puka, Cup.
Just
that
same
would
team.
that would be good.
Always make a same team.
But if you have multi teams,
I was gonna say I like seeing this this is the first time I'm seeing this dual player color blast. It's obviously huge fan of the color blast, especially the white one. Natural evolution. I get why they'll be able to make more if they put two team players together. But like Dan said, please do not make two different teams on it. One is just like it doesn't make very much sense. It just makes it harder for the collectors.
and don't do anything like cute to where you do like the 4 players, but you have like the Bengals on the front and then like and then like 2 Panthers on the back.
Yeah,
Oh,
please do
God.
not do that.
Don't
Panini, please.
don't do that.
This team one is cool. Like with the logo in the middle and have the team color splashing out from the middle. That's awesome. And then have the other different variation rainbow colors on the side. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think they're aware of making this. That a
No.
lot of people are gonna be breaking this
Because
Or not.
we rip a lot of Panini. I rip a lot of Panini products.
there's lots of
across multiple products. They will put 2 different teams on a card if they have the chance to.
That's true.
Across different inserts, base and relics
Now,
and metal
yeah.
cards and whatever.
And yeah, I mean, honestly, like they do this, they could. There's gonna be a larger color blast checklist. You can
Which
make-
dilutes it.
You can make more of them. But I will give them this. This is the first time that they've done this, so it'll be unique.
Yeah.
If you are a Bengals fan and you're a Jamar Chase fan and Joe Burrow fan, like this is going to be a pretty awesome card for you.
Yeah, it would be.
Or if you're gonna do like rookies, have them be the rookies on the same team. Like Texans, you can do Will Anderson and Bryce
CJ.
Young or CJ Stroud on the same
Yeah,
card.
I was gonna say that's probably if you're gonna do a dual rookie one. I think the Texans one by far is the
Yeah.
one most people would
If
want.
we'd
Anderson
see,
Stroud.
I mean, what do you? I don't think they would do it. Like, how would they do it for the logo? Like, the logo is well centered.
like a rookie logo right in the middle.
but if they were to, if they
You
were
could put the rookie logo on the top left,
if
right
they
there.
were on 2 different teams, like
Oh.
where would you put? You did the logos would have to be on top of each other.
Maybe right next to, at the bottom, just to the right. If I'm looking at the Burrow one, just to the right
I'm
of
thinking you
his
don't even
name,
need to put
maybe.
the team logo necessarily. You could just put the team name on the top corners on the left and right side.
No, but the logo is what makes it actually cool. Let's like not even talk about it because like
Again,
we talk
I don't
about
want-
They
the
can
more we're
still
talking
make
into
these cards. They're
existence.
like, we didn't even think of that. Let's do it. Let's put, let's put Bryce Young. Let's put Will Levis. Let's put all 4 of them on one
They've
color
already
blast.
printed this Prizm.
it never.
yeah,
It,
no.
yeah.
So it's either in there or it's not. We won't know until the final checklist comes out.
Yeah.
multi-team cards generally don't work across the board.
But they keep putting them in there. They
Like,
keep putting them in there.
Even if they're like dual shields, like the chance of that shield, you need both players to be great for that card to like maintain or go up in value.
Yeah.
It's so hard. There's always going to be somebody who is going to be better on that card than the other player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could argue we pulled one of the few cards that across the board we're like, yeah, that's the three players: the Curry, LeBron, Luka. Triple.
I mean, you can make an argument.
You're going to make an argument about Luka.
You can make an argument.
I get it though, but that's probably the closest.
But like here, real quick on that triple logo, man. For the future, right? For the future, that's an awesome card. But I imagine if R.I.P. Kobe was still with us, he would have been on that card.
Kobe would have
been on that card.
Would have made more sense. Like I think they were gonna make the best possible triple logo man of current players that they can possibly make.
Well, I think we even said KD
Luka,
maybe too.
Luka's probably the guy that you would want on there
for
if
the
you
future.
could not get Kobe.
Well, I think KD to me would be the third I put on there, but that's me. I put KD on there. That's just me. So there you go, Prizm Football.
I think with Luka,
yeah,
right now, it's gonna hurt to say this. There's still more upside.
Oh, for sure.
Like KD is great. KD is an all-time great.
But KD is not on the same level as.
But
those.
you know what you got in Kevin Durant.
KD ain't on the same level as Steph and LeBron.
But if you're talking modern players,
is Kevin Durant going to do anything in his career right now that is going to overshadow what he did in the past?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Even if he does win a championship, he's not going to have the same years that he had. His best years are behind him.
But if we're talking like the best players since, I guess we'll make since 2007, 2008, I guess that'd be the era. We're talking Curry in there.
Well, if it's LeBron on the card, you got to go back to 2004.
Right, exactly. But I guess I'll just say, still, that era, who are the best? LeBron, Curry, and I'd put KD third, like, pretty easily. I don't even think I'd be thinking about it.
From 2003?
Since, I'm talking Curry. I guess we'll talk Curry's era. Since Curry's been in the league.
I would almost put
LeBron,
if
Curry,
they were able to, I would almost put Giannis on that card over KD. LeBron, Giannis, and Curry.
I still go KD.
I think they got it right with Luka.
Yeah. In future, you're right. The growth of that. That's what they're thinking of.
Yeah, the uncertainty of what Luka is going to achieve in his career.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. 2023 Prizm Football. Don't have a release date yet, but expect it winter, spring-ish of 2024, I guess is what we've been thinking.
Winter, spring-ish?
Winter, spring-ish?
Winter,
spring-ish.
It's a nice little.
I would say this: end of January for Prizm.
I was gonna say that means like like February-ish is what I was thinking. So yeah.
Winter, spring-ish could be. I mean, that could be in the May.
No. Winter, spring-ish is clearly February to March. That's more my ideas. Maybe I should have gone months instead of seasons, but you know what I mean. Last bit here. We're halfway through the NFL season basically at this point. Week 8 just passed by. Just real quick before we head out, your thoughts on the rookie class. Which rookies are you in on? Which rookies are we out on? I actually want to throw this out there before we get into the rookies, because who right now? I want to hear your guys' pick off the top of your head. Have a vote for MVP. Who is it right now?
Mahomes
MVP.
Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes or Allen.
Allen.
Yeah,
mine would probably be.
Josh Allen's had. The Bills are underperforming, but dude, his stats.
Yeah, I know.
I would go two guys. I would go Lamar.
Oh yeah, Lamar
and Tua.
Yeah. See, I think it's Tua. I think Tua's the MVP. Right now.
I'm sticking with Mahomes.
Yeah, that's fair. Mahomes had a bad game last week, but he also was throwing up and had the flu.
Mahomes is great. He just doesn't have the same team around him.
I think Mahomes is like the safe bet. Like
he is.
Whoever, I mean, yeah. Especially if they end up getting the first seed in the AFC.
Yeah, you could argue this week's game in Germany, Dolphins and Chiefs, is going to.
Oh, that's the first game in Germany.
Yeah,
wow.
It could determine the MVP.
Rip.
You can make an argument. This determines the MVP.
I just think, man, if they don't have Taylor Swift at the game and
Oh, it's German. She can get out to Germany. She's Taylor
If they don't have
Swift.
Taylor Swift at the game, and he just doesn't have the same weapons around him anymore. Yeah,
And that is a bad.
I might be a little
That is
biased,
the
though.
worst draw for Mahomes. And I never want to doubt Mahomes, but could there have been a worse draw after a game where you were playing visibly sick, did not look good, and then okay, cool, you got to hop on a plane, fly like 16 hours to Germany, get used to the time change, and then go play the Dolphins on Sunday. Have fun.
one of the hottest teams in the NFL.
Yeah, that is the worst possible draw. So let me just give a quick hypothetical. Tua, to me, MVP. Let's say Tua wins MVP. The Dolphins go to the Super Bowl. Let's say they win the Super Bowl. Again, they lost to the Eagles, so maybe they're not Super Bowl favorites.
Beating down on the Niners.
I know. Let's say the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, Tua wins MVP. Does he then automatically become the number one QB to collect from the 2020 class?
Yes.
Sure.
Automatically.
Automatically.
Over Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Even though with his AFC championships and all
over
that.
Know
well, okay,
absolutely.
I know
over
that.
Herbert.
I know. I had to say it because I know you weren't going to say it.
I know that.
So I had to
That's
say
assumed.
it. But yes.
That is
I
assumed.
just wanted you to admit that.
I admit that.
Yes.
I admit Tua has jumped over Justin Herbert at
Yes.
this point.
Hell
It has
yeah.
happened. It has
I've been saying that since 2020.
Yeah. But there's no room for maybe it's still Joe Burrow.
There's still room for Joey B. I still like Joey B a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, he smashed you guys. You know,
I mean,
he looked good.
the Bengals started off slow. The Bengals, you'd be crazy to look and go like they're not going to be a playoff team.
Yeah,
they
100%
will. They're going to
will
be a
be.
playoff team. They're going to make a run. I think the Bills are going to make a run. We're gonna,
Yeah, of course.
The AFC is going to be literally the same crop of teams that were in the playoffs last year.
AFC is gonna be some great matches.
The
to
only
watch.
maybe surprise, although they did lose a tough game, they lost a bad game this weekend. Maybe the Texans might surprise people, but I don't know if that lasts very long.
No, they're
That
gonna be.
AFC
They're,
South is
they're a
weird.
good young team, but they're not
there
making any noise in the
They're not
playoffs.
there
No.
yet.
I mean, if you look at the playoffs right now in the AFC, is there a team that made the playoffs last year that is not going to make the playoffs this year?
I'm checking the standings right now.
And
NFL
actually, you can
It gets tougher because the Ravens are really good this year. Lamar
you
Jackson's
could go
been
to
really
the
good.
NFC, and I actually think it's the same thing.
It's pretty close.
I think the NFC is very similar.
Yeah, I'm taking a look right now.
'Cause
Right
Seattle made
now, you're looking at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Browns and the Steelers,
Okay.
and the Jets and the Bengals are all tied at 4
And the
3.
Steelers almost made the playoffs last year.
Steelers almost made the
Dude,
playoffs.
I just wanna
the
say
Jets
this.
are sitting there.
I just want to talk about this on the show real quick. There is something very, very strange happening with the Jets. Like they are pulling these games out of their butts, and they've been playing tough. Their defense has been playing tough. It's like, and then if you've been watching the Pat McAfee show with Aaron Rodgers on there every week,
He's trying.
and seeing how his recovery's been going, he's like 2 weeks ago he was already on the field throwing the ball for practice. It's like they're hanging in there. They're really trying, like they're really hanging in there just to hold out hope that I'm just saying I'm not ripping up my Super Bowl future bet yet.
Week 14, week 15, is there a chance that Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm playing?
If the Jets are like a game out of a playoff spot,
What if they're
he's gonna try his
What if they're in the
damnedest.
playoffs?
Yeah, they're
Then it's no question he's
they're
gonna try.
freaking winning
But
right now.
how do you come back from a torn Achilles?
If you know that this is it. I think that's what it. And I think there's a part of Aaron Rodgers that thinks this was probably going to be my final season, and that if I go out and I have a catastrophic injury, if I go back in early and then I end up having this catastrophic injury and it ruins my football career and I can never play again, whatever. I laid it out on the line. Or I could come back and be an absolute legend in the city of New York for the rest of my life. Like, I think for him, he's like, I've accomplished everything. I'm fine.
I'll tell you, right, that happened. I'm going down with the scripted.
I'm just telling
I'm
you.
all scripted.
Hey,
I'm all for him to go out like first drive and then come back, and the Jets end up winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, he would end it.
'Cause I got that
Why ever
futures
play
bet.
again? Why ever play again after that? If you win the Super Bowl for the, I mean, again, this is crazy talk.
But I'm just saying, like, there's something special happening with the Jets because they're pulling these games out. They beat the Eagles. Let me just reiterate. They beat the Eagles,
They beat
man.
the Eagles.
That's not an easy thing to do. The Eagles
beat
only have
Buffalo.
that's their only loss. The Eagles.
Yeah, they
to the
beat
New York Jets.
The Jets have beat Buffalo and Philadelphia this
Like-
year.
But their defense is
Their
legit.
defense is amazing.
It's legit.
Yes.
That just goes to show, like, man,
Yeah.
if they had that boy, like,
But
I'm watching
they
a lot.
But they didn't make any deals at the
They didn't.
trade
No,
I don't think
they're standing pat.
Yeah.
Because
Could have got Josh
literally
Dobbs.
the difference maker is Aaron Rodgers. The defense keeps them in games. The defense wins them games. But Aaron Rodgers on the offensive end will, like, finish games for them.
Yeah. It wouldn't
Like, these last 2-3 minute drives, like, Aaron Rodgers is going to find a way.
I don't think he probably should be playing, but he's crazy enough that I just think at this point he's done the math in his head and gone, if I blow out my ankle and I I don't know what happens if there's a second rupture of an Achilles tendon. I can't imagine it's good, but he's clearly done the math and gone, I'm willing to risk that for one more shot at
Risk
glory.
it for the biscuit.
Yeah. One last thing before we go. Will Levis had a huge debut for the Titans, wins in his debut. Seems like he's pretty locked in. So with that,
4 touchdowns.
when this is all said and done,
Sell Tannehill.
yeah. Hopefully you were doing that a long time ago.
Oh yeah, if you're listening to this now,
and
you
you
probably
are just
waited,
now like, I guess I should sell Ryan
waited
Tannehill.
too long.
Probably waited a little too long.
Well, we're gonna get another look at him tomorrow night. Now,
Yep.
now,
Gets a
there's
really
been
good
guys.
series
There's
defense.
obviously been a lot of guys who had amazing games, their debut games. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see consistent work from Will Levis.
Yeah.
It's a good start, 100% good start. But then I was reading the ESPN article where they kind of go over it. I guess Mariota, Will Levis, and like 2 other quarterbacks had a good as of debut as Will Levis had. One of them was actually Mariota. His debut, he threw 4 touchdowns as well.
That's right.
So let's not let that was
slow
also
down.
Tennessee Titans.
That
Yeah.
said,
Let's temper our
that
expectations.
said, few rookie QBs have as many weapons to throw to or to hand the ball off to as Will Levis does right now. So
Yeah.
by week 17, number 1 QB in the
I think it's
football
still
and
CJ Stroud.
rookie QB, it's still CJ.
Still CJ Stroud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
he's
Levis has
proven
a shot.
more over longer, like for half a season now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Will Levis came in. He was amazing. He threw the ball downfield. D Hop was like looking like vintage primetime D Hop. But like, yeah, I got to see. They play the Steelers tomorrow, so we'll see.
yeah. Steelers going to be a big test, but I don't know. I'm kind of a
We'll see
believer
how
right
you
now.
act. We'll see how you act with T.J. Watt all up in his grill.
I think we're kind of hoping for this rookie class, this quarterback rookie class, to
Because
turn
of
around.
Yes.
AR injury.
Because like Bryce Young hasn't looked good.
No,
Although
Richardson's
Bryce Young
hurt.
did beat
Richardson
the
hurt.
Texans.
Yes.
Richardson's hurt, not playing this year, and was hurt before he actually got hurt. Like
and
he was
Stroud
missing,
just
he was
lost to a
missing games
winless
before he was out for the season.
team. Right,
And Stroud looking good.
right.
Looking
Did lose
good.
to a winless team, like C-Rad mentioned, but
Looking
nonetheless,
And then Will Levis, I mean, not the guy that I would have picked out of the rookie quarterbacks that was going to have.
no, I wouldn't have either.
He's like a
best
Kentucky
debut.
player, right?
Yeah, and then he was the one who was going to go first round and ended up going in the second round.
Yep.
But he might have a big chip on his shoulder,
Dude.
being like, okay, you all passed on me. Now you're at a place where, like, look, we're looking at the playoff picture. They're just a game out of a
maybe
spot.
that explains his going out there and throwing 4 touchdowns in his first game. Like,
right.
I'm going to show you guys.
Had something to prove.
Now, the Pittsburgh's defense is going to come back
Right.
and be like, cute, let me show you what's up.
Yeah.
Like, we got you on tape now.
We're gonna see.
Let me
We're
show
gonna
you
see tomorrow night.
Yeah, let me
We will
show
see.
you what's up.
We will
This is why you were second round. This is why
I will say I looked up some of his cards. Obviously, they've been selling well. The best Prizm type product that's out is Mosaic Football, right? In terms of like Prizm type products, dude, the Nebula design of 2023 Mosaic Football, the Nebula 101, amazing. Like I looked up his, like somebody bought his for $1,200, I think like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now they have it up for $5,000 or best offer because his Black 101 just sold for around 4 or 5. Amazing design. Like I was like blown away.
Now,
I love the Nebula.
I don't know if buying a card like that of a guy after having his first game is insane.
Yeah.
To
Somebody
be-
bought the 101.
I
black
mean,
one.
1,200 is one thing, but to like go, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna buy it for $5,000 now. Like, where is the ceiling on that card?
I have no idea. I don't. That feels
Patty
like
Mahomes
the
is
ceiling.
I guess.
That feel unless you believe he's gonna go to the playoffs. And
No, you're like, I'm buying this because he is the next Tom Brady.
he's the next guy, which is crazy.
which is a little premature. Good
It's
game.
just a little.
Yeah, especially
game.
considering
Who'd
Marcus
they
Mariota.
beat, by the way?
But
Who'd they-
that could turn if he looks terrible on Thursday night. That $5,000 card is now back to like it's like an $800 card. I mean, it's a roller coaster of emotions here.
I'm trying to think who did they beat?
I
Who
can't even
who did they freaking beat? Was it
Falcons. Barely.
The-
by 5.
Yeah, they beat the Falcons.
Falcons, a team that
Falcons have a good defense
they're
though.
in
Yeah,
it.
but Ritter's not even the quarterback anymore.
Ritter's
Ritter
he's-
has been benched.
Taylor
Yeah.
Heineke is now starting.
So
And then like their coach was asked like why is Bijan Robinson so underutilized? Because you drafted him so high for him barely to be used on offense. He was like, I don't know what his answer was, but like it just doesn't make any sense.
I thought you were gonna say like his answer was I don't know.
It kind of
That-
was.
You know, Bijan Robinson,
From what I recall,
just-
it was.
He just got his first touchdown in
Yeah.
week 8.
I would love for a coach to answer that exact question with, well, I just don't know.
If I recall, his
Highest
answer,
drafted running back in the
his
draft.
answer was kind of like pushing back at like fantasy football owners. Because he's like, I don't know, I can't, I don't make coach decisions based on your fantasy football team, so whatever.
Okay.
Bro,
Like, dude.
Bijan Robinson is a beast.
So yeah,
Underutilized.
don't draft
I
Atlanta
mean,
running backs
But
for the time being.
there is a lot to be said about pass protection, and if a running back could have all the talent in the world, but if they're a liability in pass protection,
Yeah.
then that is probably a good reason why he is not out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I haven't watched enough Atlanta Falcons games to see how the pass
watched
pro
enough.
situation is for Bijan Robinson, but
I watched enough to know that Desmond Ridder does stink. That's all I know.
maybe Desmond Ritter because he's not getting that pass protection from his running backs.
Yeah.
maybe.
No,
Maybe that's all
no,
it
that's
was.
actually not it. That's not it. That's not it. He makes poor decisions. He makes bad throws. Yeah. He don't got it.
It just
He don't got it.
2022 football products hot. It's a hold. It's a hold right
boy.
now.
Hey, Sam Howell is looking good though.
I'm glad we didn't
Sam
have to
Howell's
bring it up
looking
too
good.
much. It's right at the end of the show, so I'll bring it up now. Yeah, the 2020 QB class not looking so hot at the moment.
I mean, rank them. Sam Howell number one.
we can do
one.
that. Why don't we do that next week?
Pick
Let's
it
do that
number
next
2.
week. It shows,
Pick it number 2.
We got to wrap things up.
Ritter number 3.
Let's wrap it up. All right.
Ritter's number 3.
Oh, all right. Well,
Fourth,
yeah.
2022.
I don't even. Was there? Who else
Fifth?
was drafted?
Well, that's,
No, Malik Willis.
Malik Willis was 4. Brock
Yeah.
Purdy 5.
that just about wraps things up for today's show
that was
right
fun.
there. Yep, let's end it right there. No need to talk about Brock Purdy and the way the 49ers are playing right
Purdy
now.
ranked
May
10th.
never win another game.
Hey,
I might-
Chase Young, you're going to look great in red and gold.
I might put George Pickens above Brock Purdy for quarterback.
All right.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson.
Uh,
Sauce Gardner.
I thought you were going to say Slim Pickens above him at some point, the way this is going. That's our show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, go over to Mojobreak.com. Our full slate of breaks scheduled over there. Rip with C-Rad, Rip with Greg. Always live on YouTube 7 days a week. Got all the latest releases. We're doing the McDonald's All-American. We've got Sterling Baseball coming up this Friday. You don't want to miss it on release day. And, of course, we're on Fanatics Live as well. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast if you're not already here, wherever you're listening, and we will see you next week on the Hype.